Justice League issue 38 sees the Force-powered Justice League confront Lex Luthor as Shayne says that he doesn't know if he can connect to everyone on the world. Kendra says that her son is her and John's hero, before telling the fellow heroes that they need to protect the psychics at all costs. Lex stops his army, planning on fighting the League himself, but he's blasted by John Stewart. However, the Lantern's blast does nothing to Lex as he pulls the ultraviolet power from Sinestro to conjure up every construct John has ever made, dropping them on him as the Flash races in to save his friend. Barry punches Lex in the face, but it barely does anything as he taps into Grodd's Still Force, using it to slow Flash and age him rapidly, telling the heroes if only they could see how much this effort warms his heart. Wonder Woman arrives and cuts Lex in half, saying she can't seem to find his heart. Miss Martian and Shayne meanwhile continue to try and keep their psychic link active as the Justice League begins pushing through to the people. Lex heals as Wonder Woman strikes again, but he blasts her and tells her that while he might be an abomination by her god's decree, his god thinks it's just fine. Jarro suddenly attaches himself to Lex's face as Batman attacks him. Lex manages to slash Jarro with his mutated tongue, ripping him in half as the tentacles grab at Batman, saying that he's already broke Batman's arms and legs once, and he thinks this time it's time to break his neck. Batman asks what he's waiting for, but he tells Lex he wasn't talking to him as Superman smashes Lex through the city. Lex is fine, however, saying that he always wondered what it would be like to be hit by Superman when he wasn't holding back, finding it to be quite disappointing. Superman tries to reason with him, telling him this isn't who he is and he's become something else. Lex, however, just attacks, causing a huge explosion in the middle of the city. The people of Earth begin believing in the heroes again, and the sigil begins changing as Superman tells Lex that he might believe the people's nature is to be dark. However, Lex absorbs the Legion members' powers, smashing Superman over and over, telling Superman that he isn't a human and he will never be, and that they are meant to be predators. Superman says that may be so, but it's not who Lex wants to be. Manhunter's voice echoes out in his head, giving the Trinity a moment to attack him together, turning the sigil fully to the side of justice. Suddenly Perpetua arrives, saying that she will handle this herself. Lex tries to tell his god that he can finish them off, as the hero's connection with the people is broken and Shayne wants to reconnect it, rushing Lex, but the boy is smashed away by him. Kendra rushes to her son's side, but Lex grabs her, saying that he's had enough of her. Kendra says that she forgives Lex for everything he's done, catching the villain off guard, and long enough for Shayne to psychically blast him, getting him to remember who he was. Shayne transports them into Lex's memory, telling him that he's there to speak to someone. Lex thinks that it's his younger self and doesn't think the Martian could appeal to his younger self, but Shayne says that he's actually there to speak to his younger father, who is also inside the villain. Shayne meets with John, telling him that things are bad right now, so he's going to set him free and wants to trade places with him in Lex's memory. Lex tries to stop the child but cannot grab him since he goes intangible, as Shayne says that he's fine with being trapped here, since the world needs the Martian Manhunter, since he's stronger than him. John wonders who the Martian is, but Shayne says that one day he hopes he will know him, but until then, John has to save the world. Out in the real world, Shayne is absorbed into Lex, telling his mother Manhunter is the only way that they can connect to the world. Kendra says that her son will be lost forever if he does this, but Shayne wants this to happen, saying his goodbyes. He's absorbed fully into Lex, who explodes as the Martian Manhunter returns, telling him it is time for justice. Justice League issue 38 sought to finish up the Justice Do More story by pulling off some pretty awesome twists. I enjoyed seeing the team battle Lex with their own souped up powers. However, this issue was carried by Shayne and his sacrifice to see his father come back. I didn't think we would be seeing him trade places with Jean in Lex's mind, so I'm excited to see what happens there now that Martian Manhunter is back, and if that actually does turn the tide in this war, and if they're able to even get Shayne back or if he's lost forever now. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.